When broken becomes beautiful, the journey to personal freedom. Have you ever looked at the cracks in your life and wondered if anything beautiful could ever grow there? I have. We all have. Those moments when we're standing in the wreckage of what once was, wondering how we'll ever rebuild. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Kaymah Taylor, a visionary whose work has transformed countless lives across continents. Kaymah isn't just a thought leader, she's a soul leader. Her profound insights on healing, spirituality, and personal transformation have created ripples that have become waves of change, particularly for Black women navigating the complex intersections of trauma, faith, and identity. What makes her wisdom so powerful is that it wasn't learned in lecture halls or downloaded from self help books. It was forged in fire, tempered by tears, and refined through resilience. Have you ever felt like you're constantly running, constantly proving, constantly surviving, but never quite living? That feeling has a name. It's called survival mode. And for too many of us, especially Black women, it's become our default setting. But what if I told you that the very things that broke you could become the foundation for your most beautiful life? What if the rejection that cuts so deep could become the doorway to your most authentic self? This is the revolutionary truth I discovered through my conversation with Kaymah Taylor. Her journey illuminates something profound. Personal freedom isn't a destination we arrive at, it's a path we walk daily, sometimes stumbling, sometimes soaring, but always moving forward. Let me share three transformative insights that might just change everything for you. First, personal freedom is a journey, not a destination. We live in a culture obsessed with overnight transformation. Download this app, take this course, follow these 5 steps, and suddenly, poof, you're healed, whole, and living your best life. But that's not how healing works, is it? Real transformation is messy, it's nonlinear, it's 2 steps forward and sometimes 3 steps back, and that's perfectly okay. I was particularly moved by a story Kama shared about a Black woman who documented her healing journey on Instagram. After years of emotional hardship, family estrangement, abusive relationships, the whole painful package, she found herself rejected by her religious community when she began embracing her psychic gifts. Can you imagine that? Finding the courage to be your authentic self, only to have the saints tell you that your gifts are wrong, dangerous, even demonic. For years, suppressing her intuition had led to depression. But something remarkable happened when she finally chose authenticity over acceptance. She began sharing her spiritual journey publicly. She sought connection with others who valued spirituality outside traditional religion. She used social media not just as a platform, but as a lifeline to others walking similar paths. The result? She built an entire community centered around self love and spiritual growth. She helped normalize discussions about Black women's mental health and spirituality beyond church walls. And most importantly, she found freedom, not by escaping her story, but by embracing it. This brings me to the second insight. Your spiritual gifts and intuition are valid, even if others don't understand them. How many of us have dimmed our light because someone told us it was too bright? How many of us have silenced our inner knowing because someone told us it wasn't real? We live in a world that's quick to pathologize what it doesn't understand. Your sensitivity becomes too emotional. Your intuition becomes just making things up. Your spiritual experiences become dangerous or delusional. But here's what Kaymah Taylor wants you to know. Rejection by the saints or society doesn't diminish the power of your calling or experiences. Your gifts aren't wrong just because they make others uncomfortable. Your intuition isn't invalid just because it doesn't fit neatly into someone else's theological box. Your spiritual journey isn't misguided just because it looks different from the one prescribed to you. Sometimes the very things that make you feel most alienated are the things that will ultimately connect you most deeply to your purpose and your people. Which leads me to the third insight: nature, creativity, and community can be powerful tools for healing. Another story Kaymah shared particularly moved me. It involved a TikTok creator who found healing through an unexpected source: trees. After experiencing job loss and housing instability during the pandemic, a devastatingly common experience among Black immigrant women in healthcare roles, this woman developed a daily ritual of talking to trees. She incorporated plant care into her daily routines as acts of mindfulness. Now, I know what some of you are thinking: talking to trees, really, that's the solution? But stay with me here. This practice wasn't just some new age trend, it was a reclaiming of ancestral wisdom. You see, her childhood memories in West Africa included reverence for plants, a tradition she now embraced in adulthood as a way to heal from migration trauma. The results were profound: reduced stress levels, a sense of groundedness, a connection to something larger than herself. And perhaps most importantly, she inspired viewers, especially those feeling isolated, to try nature based practices for their own emotional regulation. This story beautifully illustrates what Kama Taylor emphasizes. Sometimes our healing doesn't come from complicated therapeutic techniques or expensive self help programs. Sometimes it comes from the simplest acts: planting a garden, decorating a room, expressing yourself through fashion, or finding community with others on similar paths. There's another powerful example that demonstrates this principle of finding beauty in brokenness. It involves a woman whose life was completely upended when she lost her home. Facing near deportation fears after divorce while raising two children alone amid economic uncertainty, she could have easily surrendered to despair. Instead, she reframed adversity as redirection rather than punishment. She leaned into faith and spirituality outside rigid doctrine, while building new relationships grounded in acceptance rather than judgment. What's remarkable about her story isn't just that she survived, it's how she transformed her pain into purpose. She became an advocate for others navigating immigration and legal challenges while parenting solo. She shared her testimony widely via social media, inspiring resilience among single mothers facing systemic barriers. She helped destigmatize conversations about mental health and crisis management within African diaspora circles. Her story reminds us that sometimes when God closes the door, He's not punishing you, He's redirecting you. Sometimes when your life falls apart, it's not falling apart, it's falling together in a new and unexpected way. These stories share a common thread. They're about women who refuse to be defined by their trauma, women who chose to see their brokenness not as the end of their story, but as the beginning of a new one. Women who discovered that their deepest wounds could become their most powerful medicine, not just for themselves, but for others. This is what Kama Taylor's insights reveal. Healing isn't just about getting over pain, it's about growing through it. It's about allowing your experiences, even the painful ones, to shape you into someone wiser, deeper, and more compassionate. So, what does this mean for you? It means that your journey to personal freedom starts with one simple but profound choice: the choice to embrace your story, all of it, with courage and self compassion. It means recognizing that the parts of yourself you've been taught to hide might actually be your greatest gifts. It means understanding that nature, creativity, and community aren't luxuries in your healing journey, they're necessities. And perhaps most importantly, it means knowing that you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to heal perfectly or linearly. You don't have to follow someone else's roadmap to freedom. As Kaymah Taylor would say, you just need to take one small step today that honors your true self. Maybe it's journaling honestly about pain you've survived. Maybe it's planting something green. Maybe it's wearing your hair natural. Maybe it's simply reaching out for help if you're struggling spiritually or emotionally. Whatever that step is for you, take it. Not because it will instantly transform your life, but because each step, no matter how small, is part of your journey to freedom. I want to challenge you today, not just to listen and nod, but to act, to disrupt the patterns that have kept you in survival mode, to reclaim the parts of yourself that you've hidden away, to dare to believe that your brokenness might actually be the birthplace of your most beautiful becoming. What if, starting today, you stopped apologizing for your gifts? What if you stopped shrinking to make others comfortable? What if you stopped waiting for permission to heal in the ways that actually work for you? The world doesn't need more people who have it all together. The world needs more people who have been broken open and found the courage to let the light in, and then to let that light shine for others still finding their way in the dark. Your story matters. Your healing matters. Your freedom matters, not just for you, but for all the people who will be touched by the wisdom that only comes through wounds transformed into wisdom. So go, plant that garden, talk to those trees, embrace those gifts, build that community, tell that story, not despite your brokenness, but because of it. Because when broken becomes beautiful, it doesn't just change your life, it changes the world.